Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's Christina Payne and this is The Face of Change. So we started this journey on last week, you guys, and I give you some tips for back to school. So I hope those were helpful for you. Back to school was a beast. Did anybody else feel that way? I have a teenager, a high schooler, and they are starting back to school online, which we wanted because we wanted to kind of feel the waters out before we got back to school entirely face to face, if that ever happens again. And even with us being, that kind of early adopter group who was helping to help everyone else say, I'll go first and see what it's like, it's a bit crazy. But we are dealing, right? We are learning some of the nuances that we weren't aware of by day 3, by day 4. We were starting to get good at, right? I hope you took advantage of all of your networks. I hope you reached out to your parents' portals. I actually had to do that once this week to try to understand if I was the only one doing things a certain way. So I had to take that into consideration. I hope those tips helped you guys and that you did what was good for you, despite what maybe other people were thinking. You're getting the facts, you're understanding what's actually changing for you, and then you're basically keeping a positive face for the kiddos. So way to go. Good luck going into next week. I know we're gonna get through this. This week, I thought I'd share a few tips about change in general, you guys. It doesn't really matter the change. We have gurus out here if you want to have financial changes in your life. You have financial goals you want to meet. We have people who you can talk to if you want to have weight loss journey that you want to go on, or just a health journey in general. There are people you can talk to. Any type of big change, career journey, whatever it is, the common denominator, the common thread through all of those changes is that you have to be able to embrace change. You need some core skills around embracing change. And so I thought I'd start this week out with some basics. Just get you some basics. Okay, so here we go. Let's get a few basics. Tip number 1. Do you understand the current and the future state? Where are you today? Where do you want to go? Current state, let's take weight loss for example. Do you clearly understand what your weight loss goals are? Do you understand what it's doing to your body? Do you understand clearly the impact to your life, negative impact to your life if you do not succeed at this journey? Do you clearly understand the current state? Have you gone to the doctors? Have you gotten an assessment to understand what your blood work is? Have you started to get some advice around what you need to do, what your ideal goal and weight should be? Those are all things that you have to understand about today. What's happening today? And it bridges over, even if your goal is around changing careers. Do you understand what you do well currently? Do you understand what you like about your current job? Do you understand enough about your skills and abilities and what the industry needs currently in order for you to prepare for future state? Future state is where you're going. And when you understand future state and what is required in the future state, then you can figure out the gaps, you guys. The gaps are, what do I need to do to get from current state to future state? That looks different for everyone, okay? So that is tip number 1. Do you currently understand the current and future state, okay? So tip number 2, where does your motivation come from? A lot of us understand we need to change. A lot of us understand what we look like currently and what we want to change in future state, but we don't have that intrinsic motivation that is required for us to actually implement the change or to execute the change. And that's going to be required for you to dig deep and figure out what is it that drives you. What is your why? Why are you doing this? And what are you going to be able to turn to for motivation to continue this change and be successful at this change? A lot of people start things and they don't finish because they realize either someone else wanted them to do it or they're doing it because it's a popular or fad thing to do. They really just didn't have the intrinsic motivation. So tip number 2, what is your motivation? Identify your motivation. Tip number three, how do I get over my deficits? So I identified my deficits in that gap between current and future state. I understand what I need to do to bridge the gap, but there might be deficits there. Do you understand how to bridge the deficits, right? Do I need new training? Do I need workout gear? Do I need to buy a membership to a workout facility or a gym? Do I need an accountability partner? Do I need structure? Do I need to go back to school? What do you need to bridge the gaps? These are the things that are required in order for you to move to the future state. Okay, so I gave you 3 tips. I hope those were helpful. Good luck moving into whatever future state you have. I am Christina Payne, and this is The Face of Change.